The truth is I'm tired. Hi. Um, so here's the thing. I'm actually so tired today. I'm so tired, but I'm having those like weird bursts of energy. Excuse me. And it's crazy because I'm like, if I think too long about how sleepy I should be, then I might spontaneously combust, actually. So yesterday was a very interesting, fun, new day to me. For me, question mark. So last night I got the opportunity to film a commercial, which please don't think it's that cool. It's really not. Basically, I was like a background. I got asked to be like background. Good morning, Andre. But yeah, so I got asked to be like a background actor in some commercial, and essentially it's shot overnight. So the call time was 8:30 p.m. and we wrapped up 6:15. And this was the most laborious, like it was somehow laborious but also not doing anything, because since I was such a small part, they only needed me like out of the 10 hours I was there, maybe like 3 hours. And during that 3 hours, I was literally just walking back and forth. It was sick and twisted. And then what was really funny is that at one point, the director's like, "Oh, you're not even in the shot." Like, I was doing all this and I wasn't even in the shot. So there was like it was like one of those commercials that are like, there's like three different cut versions. Like there's the 25-second version, 10-second version. And the way that the only time you might see a glimpse of me on accident is in the 10-second one, because the way that they had me, I like real quick walk through, like I was just like in the background, and like it was the setting was like a grocery store, so I was just a shopper. And it's like, and I was like, listen, I love to grocery shop, so I was acting my ass off. I was method acting, okay? I was pulling from experience. But then I was completely gagged when I heard the director make a comment about how I'm not even like, I won't even be seen. I was humbled. But hello everyone, welcome to the stream. Good morning, Tian. I hope you guys are having a really good day too. I actually really like streaming in the morning because I feel like, I don't know. Are you guys morning people? I'm very much a morning person. So I 100% think if you can catch me in the morning, you're catching me at my best. You're catching me at my most optimistic. You're catching me at my most energized. And you're catching me, when the ideas are flowing. But right now, ironically, maybe is not the best interpretation of that, because like I said, I basically did not sleep from 8:30 p.m. to 6:15 a.m. And then after the shoot wrapped, I went to the hotel. They like got us hotels that we could, because it was like ungodly hours late. And I was like, I kind of want to just go home, because the place I live wasn't actually too far from the filming location. So I was like, should I just go home at 6 a.m.? And I was like, nah, it's not safe to drive while sleep deprived. So I slept as much as I could, but I'm still really, really tired. But like, I'm like gassed, like that crackhead feeling you feel before you completely crash. So that's the vibes I'm operating on right now. And because of that, I think today is a great day to play Suika game. That seems unnecessary. If you were only need for 3, and honestly, I don't know if I've talked about this, but one of my early young girl, when I was a young warthog, one of my like young girl dreams was to be like an actress. And granted, again, I was just background, but it really brought to light, how like actors and actresses will always be like call times and like long days on set. Like literally you just kind of sit there until they need you. And like, I guess if I was like a principal, well, even the principals actors, they stayed pretty much. Only one got to leave early when they were completely done shooting his scenes, but everyone stayed that 10 hours. But not, you weren't always needed that 10 hours. So most of it was literally just sitting in like the back room, green room, whatever you would call it, and just like finding ways to entertain yourself. And granted, it was really interesting because a lot of the people that I was working with have been like doing background acting and different like bit kind of acting and commercials for a really long time. So hearing like their journeys and like horror stories and like cool things they got to do was very interesting. But literally, let's see, if I got there at 8:30 p.m., because that's when they told us to get there, the first scene I shot wasn't until 2 a.m. Actually, 2:30 a.m. So for like 6 hours, I did absolutely nothing. I literally like went, like read every forum post in existence. I watched every YouTube video in existence, every TikTok in existence, until they're like, all right, come in there. Like, you can come. And I was gagged a bit because like they wanted us to bring wardrobe or whatever. And I swear, like when we were setting it up, there was like the person who was in charge of that. You were supposed to send the options you had, and like then she would tell you it was good or not. And so I brought the thing she said, and then they gagged me a bit because they were like, girl, we're gonna get you in something else. Like, I was like, wait a second, you said this was fine. What? Not you dragging my wardrobe. So, I mean, again, it was a fun experience, but I am dead tired. And there was definitely a moment where I was existentially like, what did I sign up for? Why am I doing this? Like, just because it was just so, like, I was so tired. And one of the other background actors during the last scene we did, I was just literally it was like, because it was like a 10-second commercial, so it would be like they would count down, they'd say action, then the director would be like background, and then we would start doing like the movement that they told us to do. So mine was basically walking in an aisle, a grocery store aisle, and like picking up, like just basically pretending you were shopping. But I was like confined to walking to the front of the aisle to the end of the aisle. So I literally had to do that 20 times. Like they were just like, all right, reset. And then we would do it again, just back. And I was like, oh my gosh, I was so tired. And at one point, they were like filming something with the principals, but they're having us standing there, and I just fell asleep standing up. And one of the background actors were like, yeah, I saw you. And I was like, well, is she okay? But like, honestly, that's really impressive that she can fall asleep standing up. So I was just, I don't know, it was really interesting. I was like, I would probably do it again, but maybe if I could get like some type of speaking point part, because it would seem a lot worth it. I mean, on one hand, it's like you don't have to do much and then you get paid for it. I mean, it is kind of long. It's long, but it's like also a lot for how long it is. Like I did the hourly rate, and based on the hourly rate, I mean, this is before taxes are taken out, it's much more than what my day job pays me. So, but like at the same time, I was just dead tired. But it was a fun experience. I could never be an actor if I'm sitting there for hours on end. Yeah, and the thing is, I imagine like even like not real shows, but like, you know, like for some reason Riverdale comes to mind, but like you're probably, because they just like, it just takes so long to like practice, set things up, get the lighting right, you know, do dry runs and stuff like all that. Like if you are an actress, you're probably like on Riverdale or something, you're probably there all day. Like that is just so, oh God. But the food was bomb. There's a lot of good snacks, and they got us sandwiches, which is dope. But yeah, I don't know. Like, I guess I'll be more picky, because the thing is, again, everything was very, and I don't know if this is the normal, because again, this is the first time I've ever done anything like this, so I don't know if it's normal, but everything was like really fast-paced, short notice. Like I was cast maybe 2 weeks ago, maybe 1 week ago, and then I only found out about like when, like they told us it would be like a 2-day shoot. And then I only found out like the actual time that it was like an overnight shoot, like maybe 2 days before. It was really shocking. But I don't know. I don't know if that's just the biz, or maybe it was just like tight turnaround time or something like that. But yeah, so it was really fun. And again, I think I might do it. And now that I know more, because I was so like self-conscious that I was like, oh, am I doing the right thing? Should I already have my makeup and hair done? Like, is somebody gonna do that? Like, what like blah blah blah, like all these things I was so like nervous about. But the people there were really, really nice, and they were like giving me like pointers and like talking about how like they they have, what is it, garment dust bags, those things you put your garments in, because I just kind of had mine out. And like they have like jewelry boxes and makeup boxes, makeup travel cases, I guess you would say, just like all that stuff. And it's really cool, because I think with background, like, maybe like if there was a specific, like if you were playing like a zombie or something, then you would get like your makeup and hair done. But like I feel like you're kind of forced to like know what works for you best, right? Like what clothes are flattering on you, how to do your makeup in like a nice neutral way, what jewelry's like, and just have that on deck. Because like literally it was like the wardrobe person would be like, okay, what did you bring? And then like this one girl, she was like, she had all her clothes, and she was like, okay, these are my clothes. And then they're like, what about shoe options? And she literally ran through every single shoe option she had brought at the top of her head, like just sped through it. And I was like, oh my God, I had brought like a couple shoe options because they told us to, but I was like, I don't even know what I threw in that bag. I ended up wearing the sneakers I came in, which I was like, oh my God, why did I take all this stuff? But yeah, it was a lot. What kind of commercial was it? What product? It was for a grocery store. So, which I was a bit gagged, because it is a grocery store that I'm like familiar with. So like we were basically in there and I think that's why the shoot was overnight, because they wanted to use the grocery store when it was empty, because it is like an active grocery store. But I was like, dang, this is struggle. But yeah, that's all to say that, yeah, it was a grocery store that I didn't go, that the actual shoot place, I've never been to that location, but I've been to that grocery store. And what was really interesting is that the grocery store has one of those weird things where on like in certain parts of the country it's called one thing, and then in other parts of the country it's called another thing. So essentially every single scene we shot, we had to do twice. So first with like the people who played the employees with the, I'll just say like South, what the grocery store is called in the South on their name, and they had like little things like signs and things like that, all stating what the grocery store's name in the South. And so they would film everything, and then they're like, all right, switch it, and then they would switch everything to what it was called in the North. So we had to essentially do everything twice. And I was like, y'all ain't got like CGI, like, no, just kidding. But I thought that was really interesting, because as long as I've known that grocery store, I did not know that it was like it had multiple names and stuff like that, which I always think that's really interesting when it's like has to be called something else. I don't know if this is the same thing, but I noticed when I was in Japan, there was like 7-Eleven, and then there was like 7 & I Holdings. I don't know, like I probably should Google, but it had the same 7-Eleven logo, but it was called 7-Eleven or 7 & I Holdings or something like that. But there's a lot of things like that. I guess it's like copyright, but I didn't even know you could have like regional claim to like a name or something like that. Like it would make more sense internationally, because it's just like everyone has their own laws and copyright and stuff. But like regionally, I always found that really, really interesting. All right, y'all. So now I'm going to switch to this Suica game thing. Full disclosure, okay? I've already been playing it because I didn't want to like be completely lost. If you guys aren't familiar with the game, it's kind of been blowing up the scene lately. No, I'm being annoying for no reason. But I've seen a lot of people play it. I didn't realize it was basically like a Tetris type game. However, it's very addicting in the way like a Candy Crush would be in way Tetris is. I don't even think have I played Tetris? Who knows? Can I restart? Maybe I should restart. Also, I am using my Switch. So yeah, basically, let me give you a walkthrough. Similar to Tetris, it shows you what the next fruit or next thing is upcoming next. But there's like this circle of evolution. So if you pair two fruits and stuff that are like, they'll evolve to the next fruit on the evolution thingy. And then your goal is, I guess, to get the watermelon or whatever. And so similar to Tetris, you're basically trying to stack them, but not overflow. So I'll just like flop this round on purpose. Oh my god, I'm just too good. If I get like a really banging score, not even trying. Why are they giving me such small fruit? They know what I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to lose real quick. This is crazy. Okay, there we go. Alright. My daily high score is 1800. I think like the score that's like, I don't know, it's like 3000 or something. Like that's the impressive score, but I have yet to crack. Oh no, not that. I have yet to crack 2000. But like you start to get the hang of it, because at first I was kind of just dropping things, but like I feel like as you play more, you start using more logic. Like, does it make sense for me to drop this here if, you know, something else is over here? Oh, if I drop this here, I know like 2 fruits, all I need is 2 extra fruits, and then it will become like this fruit, and then that combine with this fruit. So it's kind of cool to become like more strategic as you like understand the game more. Because again, like for example, like I just made 2 things over here, but now they're super far and they have these 2 in between them. So like maybe I could have like maneuvered that better so they like ended up next to each other or something like that. Ooh, gagged a bit. And we'll do this. Suika, 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 suika. Also, I was kind of like impressed with how like seriously everyone took their role. Like even if I was just like some of the background actors I was working with, like even if it was just like pick up a slice of bologna and then walk left, they'd be like, okay, do you want me to like be faced this way? Well, what aisle should I end on? Like what should I blah blah? Like people were just so professional about it. I think that's really cool, because I feel like some people are like, oh, it's just background acting, like it's not that like serious or whatever. But like I always find it super charming and appreciate when people take pride in whatever they're doing and want to do it to the best of their ability. That was one of the things that I really liked when I was really admired when I was in Japan. Now, I'm not going to say that I know everything about Japanese society, but I'll say that no matter where I went, everything was really nice, really clean, and especially in places where it was like customer service, you could tell, like there was little things that they would do that you could just tell they really were thinking about the customer. And maybe people are like, oh my god, like this is just everyday stuff. But like for example, every like restaurant we went to, they would have these little like crates, basically like fabric crates that were on the floor. And you know, we were really confused at first, but basically it's so you can put your like bag or purse, like you don't have to put it on the table, you can put it on the floor, but it's not actually touching the floor. So it's just like a little thing goes a little way, just having those boxes. But like now it's so nice because I don't have to put my bag on the dirty floor where everyone's feet are and stuff like that. Or what was another one? Oh, the fact that there was just vending machines everywhere and they were so cheap. Like it was like prices I haven't seen in vending machine, like the conversion from yen to dollar, that I haven't seen since like probably the 90s. Maybe not the 90s, but like early 2000s. Because you know how like, you know, due to inflation and all that stuff, like vending machines, it's like $5 for a bag of Doritos or something. Like it's something crazy, but everything, it was like so frequent. They were so clean. Some of them even had food in them, which like, no offense, in America, I don't think I would ever eat food out of a vending machine. I'm just saying. But it was like really nice. And just like delicious looking and stuff. But yeah, it was really nice. Like anywhere you go, like just even if you're walking in what you thought were just like the middle of nowhere or whatever, there would just be a vending machine fully equipped. One day of the trip, I went to Universal Studios Japan, and there was like an area that had like a bunch of vending machines, and I must have seen that thing get restocked like 10 times that day. It was so crazy. Like, it was so on it. But like that level of like service and just being like, hey, we're looking out for you. I also got to ride the Shinkansen a couple times, and that was that was such, first of all, obviously nice train, but it was so nice. It was so clean. Okay, so I ride the Amtrak a lot, and like, as much as I'm like, an Amtrak girly, I be trying to fight the Amtrak train like every single day, because there's just so many things that always just like irk me with the train and stuff like that. But like, in comparison, the Shinkansen, and maybe they're not comparable, I really don't know, but like, it's just night and day. Like, one of the things that's like I always do when I ride an Amtrak is they have this thing called the quiet car, which is basically, you can talk in any other car on the Amtrak train, but on the quiet car, you can't talk, you can't take loud phone calls, you can't play music out loud. You might be thinking, who would play music out loud on a train? Hey y'all! That, my thought, in theory, that makes sense. In theory, that makes sense. But some people are insane. Yes. Oh my God, you don't have oh yeah, you don't. I one time went, I don't want to put you in black, but I know where your city is, but to your city to your state for a convention. And tell me why I almost missed my train, because I tried to call for an Uber. This is kind of different, but I tried to call for an Uber, and it took like 48 days. I swear. I was like, oh my God, I should have called this 2 weeks ago if I wanted this on time. Like, I was actually really gagged. And even like trying to find a way to take public transit up to there wasn't planes, because I don't really like to fly planes, was really hard. But yeah, honestly, like seeing because the thing is, I appreciate any city that has a robust like public transportation system, even if it's crusty, because it's like, people need that kind of thing. It makes getting to work and things like that cheaper. I'm an avid user. That's why it was so long before I had my license, because I was able to live in cities that had really robust public transit systems. But just like the one in Japan, it was just like so I really don't know even now 100% how all the rail systems work. But when I got there, we got something called a Suica card, which lets you like ride the train. First of all, so cheap to get from stop. Like, it was so cheap to get from stop to stop, like what you would have to pay when you like swiped your card. Second of all, if you had an iPhone, you could literally just have download the card. You could put it in your Apple Wallet and just like fill it from the like. I know some cities in America have that, but like not a lot of them, and not to any city that I've gone to and used public transit. But that was just so convenient, just being able to like press, like they have like the little card readers, just press your phone and it would read, and then if like you ran low on funds, you could just automatically add it. That was so great. But like the trains came on time. I'm sorry, some of these American public transit systems could never. I'm just saying. No, it was like crazy how punctual everything was. But it was so like clean and well kept, which again, I actually don't know how old Japan's public transit system is, but I know a lot of the public transit systems that I've come across are pretty old, so it's kind of hard to keep them clean, but some of them are just so disgusting. DC has a pretty good one though. I haven't been in a while, but I remember the first time I ever went on DC's public transit system, I was like, oh, so I can eat off the floor. Let me have Thanksgiving dinner on the ground because it's that clean in here. But yeah. No, honestly, like I had to bite my tongue so much when I came back from Japan, because I was just so obsessed with just talking about everything because it was so great. Like, and again, I know some people will be like, well, that's because you were a visitor and you're a foreigner, but okay, yes. But it was really fun to visit, and there's just so many like fun things to do. Walking, the thing that was like point blank period, the thing that I was just like, I'm so jealous, was that it felt so safe walking around at night. And I love a good midnight stroll. I love it. But like, I know certain places I can't do that. Certain places I've lived, I can't do that. So just being able to like wander the city and I know like it varies degrees of what safety is, so don't get me wrong. But like, you know, I'm gonna be straight up. I didn't think anyone was gonna shoot me, like, you know, that kind of thing. And I could just walk around. Like, it was just really, really nice. But yeah, the trains were so good, like so nice. But yeah, what I wanted to say is on Amtrak, basically there's this thing called a quiet car, and you can be loud in any other car except the quiet car. Do people abide by that? It varies. But what I was really gagged about is in Japan, literally all the cars are quiet cars. Like, they're literally like, don't be loud. Some of the cars have, train cars have assigned seats, so they're like, don't sit in a seat that wasn't assigned to you. It's annoying for somebody to have to ask you to move out of their seat. You know, don't be putting stuff in like, you know, seats that weren't assigned to you. They have like ample storage like above head, but then they also have these little hooks on the back of your seats. Like, this is so like minuscule, but they have these little hooks on the back of your seat and the side of the seat. So in the seat in front of you and then like on the side, that you can hang your purse. So once again, you don't have to like clutch your y'all, I want to go back. I feel like I'm not even playing this game very optimally. Yeah, they do. So there's like two ways you can get on like a car, and I forget what it's called, but some of the cars don't have assigned seats, so you can just hop on, but some of them you can get it pre-assigned. But this is the Shinkansen, not like the regular like subway. So that's it's a bit different, but like, oh my god, I loved that because it was just like not having to scramble for where to sit was really, really nice. Yeah, it was just so nice. Only thing I will say that like was like, if I go back, I cannot go back during the summer. Y'all, if you think that wherever you live gets hot during the summer, times that by 2 million and then add 300 pounds of humidity. And that was what the Japan summers were. And the thing is, I know I'm a sweaty girl. I know I get sweaty. Like, don't get me wrong. I know, you know, you get me out, like I walk around for a while. I do intense exercise. It's really hot. I get sweaty. But the way how like, as soon as I stepped out of the door, every single day, without fail, I would be drenched. And I'm just like, this is so gross. And so I literally had to do research, reconnaissance, whatever you would say, to find out like how people stay warm or stay cool in Japan. And they have all these like little cooling body sprays and things like that, but nothing was like really working for me. They're like, hand fans are popular, like handheld fans, so I got like 3 of those by the end of the trip. But like, I was so gross. Like, I was like, I can't. And sometimes I was like, this is actually so unbearable, I kind of want to go home. So I'm like planning to go again, but like, I'm like, I can't go during the summer because I will actually die of heat stroke and exhaustion. Heat stroke and exhaustion. Heat stroke and exhaustion. I think I kind of flopped this one. Oh wow, I wasn't even really trying, and I made a whatever's before. What is this, a melon? Whatever's before the actual. Ooh. I kept on saying, like, thinking about how like this game is me failing upwards, because I'll like not even know what I'm doing, and somehow it will work out, and like 10 of them will pop and, you know, form into like a really big one, but like save my butt last minute. And like, I had no plan to do that. I was just kind of dropping things places. No. Okay, that was just kind of train wrecky. All right, y'all. So you don't have to go home, but you gotta get the heck out of here. Oh yeah, I realized I started a bit early. Let me try one more game. So how much was the trip overall? Flight, hotel, touristy things. So it's kind of hard because I went with a big group and we kind of just like paid all together. But let's see. So the flight, I know that for sure, it was 1,700. But like, what makes me kind of mad at myself is that it was 1,700 because I waited way too long to get the plane ticket. Not to say that they're super cheap, but I probably could have like shaved $500 off of that if I would have got it earlier, and if I would have like, you know, really hunted down a deal. But yeah, so that was the round trip to Japan. And then let's see, there was another 1,200 between like food. We did a lot of activities there, and then hotel. But then I also paid another, so probably somewhere towards 3,500, probably more, because I also spent money on like souvenirs and gifts and things like that, and like snacks and little things that I bought. So I would say probably like 3,500. But again, like, I feel like it was a bit like, I don't want to say subsidized, but you know, like when you can split it amongst the group, it's a much cheaper. So, and my group was, seven people. So, yeah. I would probably maybe say it was a cool 4,000. I'll say that, because I'm probably missing some stuff, but that was the stuff where like I had to pay up front that I remember. So yeah, but it was 2 weeks, and it was a lot of stuff. Like it was almost too much stuff. We were doing something new almost every single day. So I bet it would be cheaper if we pulled back on something. Honestly, at one point I was like, maybe we shouldn't have like put this much stuff, because like I was literally tired between how hot it was and like, you know, I didn't know how hot it was going to be in the beginning, so I definitely wasn't properly keeping up with like making sure I was drinking water and things like that. So I was very dehydrated at some points of the trip. It was really hot. We were staying out really, really late and waking up early, because that was just how some of the events or the stuff we did ran. But yeah, so next time I think I would pack more leisure time into it, where I'm just like, okay, I'm going to walk around this city. Okay, because my friend was like, he wanted to take me, and I was looking at flights, and I was like, hell no. The thing is, it's also time though. I went in like August, which I guess is on the cheaper end, because it's not like smack dab. It's not like in spring, like cherry blossoms, or like smack dab in summer. But it was still pretty expensive. But like, I was thinking about going again, and I specifically wanted to go in a not hot time. So I was like, okay, wintry, fall-y, whatever. And so I was looking at dates in October, and they were like, depending on where you were coming from, they could be like $1,000 cheaper than what I paid. Of course, getting them early, but even like, I was like looking just to like see, like back in September, maybe I was looking at, if I were to go this October, so October 2023, how much would it be? And some of those prices were pretty cheap. I mean, who knows if they're going to stay that way, but you know, that kind of thing. But yeah, it definitely is something that I had to save up. I saved up for a year for that. So yeah, that was a lot, but it was a lot of fun. All right, guys, that is it for today. Thank you, Andre. Thank you, Tian, and anyone who may have been lurking for hanging out for the stream. I will see you tomorrow, same time.